Live broadcast. Hey, what's up? Let me know if you can hear me out there. Hmm. Hey, what's up? How you doing out there? It's cold and it's raining. What's new? What's new? What's new with you? Okay. Um, ow, almost burned myself. Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? Just hanging out in the garden. I like this one. I'm gonna just get a poll together, guys. Just to give some life to the chat. Um, Again, if you want to hang out, please like the stream. That's up to you. I I ain't gonna be dancing today. Um, I'm actually looking some stuff up on the computer. I think if I'm gonna be doing a lot of streams out here, I think a couple things need to be addressed, like my internet and just looking up some other stuff. See if some old projects I could get back to. But I do want to stay busy, keep busy today. I hope everyone out there is keeping busy and not getting down on themselves. However you like to keep busy, even if that's sitting in one spot. um, like I said, it's cold and it's raining. I'm in New York. It's really colder than to my liking to do work today, because when the temperatures go up and then they go down like 30 degrees, that's just even colder than what it is. Um, but we still will get some stuff done. Just got to be spotty about it. I thought the rain was gonna stop by now. What's up, man? Greeting from Aussie. Aussie, what's up? I love when my Australian peoples come in here. Actually, I say the same thing every time. I say bucket list And I say I can't wait to visit Jeff Lawton's Zaytuna Farms. Uh, I'm trying to put up a poll. Okay. All right, I got to pull up. Sorry that took a while. I got my computer right here. I'm gonna start setting up this area a little bit better. Um, because it's somewhat of a hangout. I've been getting my garden together. I like. I mean, it is what it is. Uh, it's personal to you. Do what you do in the garden. So what's up? Um, do what you do in the garden. Don't garden. Doesn't matter. Victoria Maria. Oh, you just putting your whole name out there. You just going with the whole joint. I hear you, Victoria. Um, I had an interesting. I always say it's interesting. It wasn't that. It wasn't that interesting. Many people about what they're doing in their garden. Tony Foreman. All right. Well, people coming in here, I definitely shout you out. Um, what's up? It's cold and it's raining where I am. I hope where you are, it is. It's a little bit better. If you come in and you want to hang out, please like the stream. He loves your videos, my videos. Oh, cool, man. Cool. That guy. I, you know, I like the. It helps to hear that because when there's a weird mix between what I'm doing, with my videos and sometimes the feedback and response that I get back is not. Sometimes you don't get feedback back, so I do appreciate that. Are you a landscaper by profession or you just like working? Um, about profession at the moment, I'm a software engineer. I've never worked any kind of landscaping. I'm a permaculture enthusiast. I do. I hope one day to, in the next phase of wherever I'm going with this, I hope to take this. Thank you, Tony. Hope you have a great day as well. What is it like in Australia? Yeah, you got to ask, not me. I'm not the Aussie. Um, yeah, I hope one day to take it to another level. But I think why permaculture. If you're familiar, thanks for the subscription, Roblox gamer. Um, if you're familiar with, we're solving problems, and when I started working on the land and this looking at plants and animals differently, just all forms of life, I started to understand that there's a science that's just it's the ultimate science, like it's Mother Nature, the science of Mother Nature, and how things are programmed in a way. So I use the word programmed intentionally because as a software engineer, I do programming, but I find myself to be a very basic level of, programming compared to what Mother Nature has designed. So you could say in a way that I'm just trying to engineer my way through the garden. And the other side of it is I think it's just a better lifestyle to be on the land. It's good for your mental health. Getting colder now. Rent's through the roof. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you say rent. I mean, that's a trigger word here for sure. Thanks for the people taking the poll. I haven't put a poll up on when I do these on my phone. It's really hard to navigate. Mick the Pick, we live, we live, we live. What's up, Mick the Pick? Shout outs to you. Congrats on the Knicks win last night. Stream team. Yeah, I figured I'd just come in here. Like I'm sure it's raining by you. Mick the Pick doesn't live that far from me. Nixon for. But yeah, I was just talking about the science of Mother Nature and the way I see it, like through my lens. Um, I'm able to be a part of it in a way, like be a student of it. Like I'm a life forms change and move about, and how I try to control things, but you kind of have no control. Like a tree that wants to grow grows. It'll find a way to grow, and then we look at it as art because it made some crazy shape. Um, and the garden has a lower, a different, I shouldn't say lower or higher, but it has a different level of how things grow. Right now, I'm working on just understanding role planting a little bit better. I'm probably going to start reading some books. Um, I just want some more information. Man, plants got a lot. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't really have big plans today, make the pick. Just the answer to that. I'm probably gonna do a lot of cleaning up and just rearranging some things. My mother-in-law, the party I was at yesterday, this is cool, and I gotta be better about this. Like how when you host, somebody comes to your house, and I know growing up, like if you had a friend come over, your parent would be like, you didn't offer them anything. My mother-in-law, in a sense, kind of teaches me that when we know we're gonna see each other, because we don't see each other, we probably should already be prepared to like trade something like an offering. And so she gave me this. This is callaloo. Um, in America we don't usually plant or eat callaloo. It's more in the Caribbean, but this is callaloo. This grows amazing for me, and it's an annual. It doesn't. It's not a perennial. It doesn't come back, but it's so many seeds that it'll kind of seed it. So what she said to me was, and I'm probably gonna figure out where I want to plant this today. What she said to me was, I give you one every year, and she has given. I don't know if it's been every year. She got me with that. Um, but she does offer some things. I've given her some things. I think she said they didn't do as well as she see them do here, so I didn't really do anything. Mick the Pig says I try to plan for the future all the time, but it's always something completely different. Well, yeah, you could plan, but you got to be willing to, in my opinion, you got to be willing to pivot and just change what's in front of you, because you don't have, we lack a lot of control that we think we have. Um, but yeah, I got on last night. It was during the Knicks game, make the pick, and I was talking about, just to do a little um review. It wasn't a lot of vibrations, but I went to a trampoline park yesterday. And what's up, Tiffany? I went to a trampoline park yesterday, and it was a lot of different groups of people. When I say like people from all walks of life, I'm mainly speaking to the children, because children are very different depending on. Um, I'm doing okay today, Tiffany. How are you? I'm mainly speaking on how children are different in different places. So like if you grow up in a affluent place, um, I'm not gonna call out anything of my beliefs, but it's just very different when children seem to have everything, or everything that they need to be successful, and then when you go to areas where they don't. And then you have these places where those two groups of people, and there's layers in between there. It's not like hot and cold, but when those people get in the same environment, in the same room, you know, it's interesting to see how they trade off, if they trade off. And I was hinting on having more of a bubble that I live in and that I'm creating, not intentionally, but it it is what it is, because I'm not really from the I'm not. I mean, I'm not. This is not affluent by no means, but the level that where I came from, I definitely felt like there was more needs, as a child for me. There was more needs that weren't filled, and those lack of fulfillment in those needs turned into what I became. You know, there's definitely an independence and a lack of willingness to share and trade with certain people and to trust people because, um, where I come from, you don't trust people like that, right? Like once I'm outside, my head's on a swivel. Like, and it's not that you don't interact with people. You actually, I think you over interact with people because you want to know, people's intentions. You want to know, like, if I see you and I say, "Yo, what's up?" If you don't say nothing back, I'm already saying something that person to you, and then you say what's up back. Then, okay, well, was your what's up a little too aggressive? Okay, a little aggressive there, a little happy to talk to. If you act like you ain't never spoke to nobody in your life and you turn my what's up into I was really asking about how your day was and why you so sad. Like sometimes when we get on YouTube and people, I feel like a lot of younger people who this may be their first time communicating in the world, they don't have the filter, they don't have the wall to be like, this should not be said on this platform, right? And they just say whatever they feel. But if I see you and I say what's up and you saying a little bit extra too personal, I know who you are. And I'm gonna keep my distance, or you ain't gonna hear me. I'm gonna just I'm gonna just laugh that off, right? So knowing people, it's a good thing. But I definitely think where I come from, you don't really trust people like that. So don't the smile don't mean that I trust you. It could mean the exact opposite. Um, but we just came in, like the stream. Like I said, we hanging out. If you want to take the poll, thanks for taking the poll. I'll just read it off real quick. Be honest. If it starts raining while gardening, you keep going anyway. You don't see me out there right now because it's cold. Run for cover instantly. Turn it into a coffee break. Filming because the vibe is elite. Now I don't know about that filming thing, but so far 43% say keep it going anyway. Those are the truth. I don't even know if we could trust the weatherman anymore. I don't. Well, they ain't even a weatherman. I don't know if we could trust where we get our weather from, because I could have sworn they said it's gonna be light rain, and it seems to be raining harder where I am now. And it's supposed to the percentage was so low. Um, yeah, but and that's the other thing. I feel like I got to get in tune with nature in a way that it's more predictable. Terry Brown, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm not gonna say, are you my auntie? Oh, some nice coffee. I had an energy drink earlier, and I was like, I'm gonna come out here with the energy. You know what? I'm gonna come out with the coffee. Um, we got a lot of work done yesterday. I want to edit some videos. I got so much, man. I was looking up, struggling with the growth of the channel. I was looking up, as to why, and I just keep getting these stupid answers. Like you do too. Like I'm all over the place. Like it's a problem that who I am is a person who you may find me on the basketball court. You may find me in the garden dancing. You'll find me cutting wood. And I could just keep adding to that, right? Trading cookie and milk. Okay. You just solicitation. I need to put up my no solicitation sign with you. All right, cookies and milk, I guess. Go do what you gotta do. Um, thanks for coming in, Bob. I just hope you stay for a second. Go just run. But yeah, I was looking up some information on the just growing a channel, and it's that same thing. What more do you got to do? And I don't know where else to talk about this. It kind of sticks for me, and it was just saying like you do too much, and they actually, what I was reading was saying that you guys are the problem. Because, well, it's not you guys. No, so make the pick. It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. McPick says, man, those things are what make you unique and special. So the problem is, and listen to this because it made sense to me. The problem is that if I were further along, everything that I'm doing would make sense, and it would be reciprocated from an algorithm perspective very well. But you have to go based on the problem. The problem is I'm still struggling to they're still struggling to understand where to place my content, because in their computer brain the two things don't exist together. If I come on here and I want to talk about parenting, that's for, if I want to talk about chickens, that's a chicken channel. If I want to talk about homesteading, I can't talk about AI and software. So it's like, what it's saying is that if I could envision it, there's this mixed profile. So when they find the people who are interested in, why not you make the pick, because obviously you've been here from the start. When they find people who are interested in this type of content, those people's profiles are also blended, or they don't go for a large set of people who are interested in a certain thing, right? So the set is not as large because I'm not intentional. I'm not making 20 straight videos about one particular topic, a series, a arc. And I kind of been landing in the same space. And it wasn't saying, okay, change anything. It was saying, don't be intentional about what that arc is, and then continue to do your other stuff like this, right? And go live and talk about whatever, you know, like the Knicks. Um, I watched the first quarter of the Knicks game yesterday. That was the first. I want to say that's the first basketball I've watched this season. They look down. It is what it is. I don't want to do the game. It's changed so much, but the game has changed so. The game has changed so much. What do you guys got in the world? We got a holiday, I guess. Here in the States, we had a holiday weekend. Um, not to get sore and make the pick, but I was just having a conversation with my wife. It'll be a good topic to talk about. And look, if you guys want to chime in on what I'm saying, please. Like, it really, I love to have people in the room, and talk through some of these things. Did Carolyn just sneak in there? I'm so sorry, Carolyn. How are you? She snuck in above that comment. That's why I saw Mickey Picks comment. Yeah. So whatever about the channel growth. Who cares? So let's get a serious topic going. Not so serious, but I have somebody who I would assume is close to me. Um, I was made aware of that they no longer worked at the job they did, and they were on to like the next thing, right? And I was not aware of it, which is okay. You could leave me out. I don't even if I don't even get invites to parties. I could care less. Whatever. Um, as far as like friends, so it is what it is. Wedding invitations are hard. That's what taught me. Like today is the reason why this person fits. That person may not even fit in your life tomorrow, so don't even stress yourself. That this person, if you join the stream, please like the stream. I'm gonna just talk about this a little bit. I'm in the garden. It's raining and it's cold, so I'm not working. I had to pull out the Carhartt. Take the poll. We got 9 votes so far, which is pretty cool. So I I was made aware of that a person in my life didn't work at a job anymore, and the way it came out was it was delivered like, oh no, that they're on a trip. And I was like, a trip? But I thought they worked at this other place. And he goes, oh no, you didn't know, they got laid off such and such a time in January. I was like, in January? It's May. And for them, that's okay. Like when you have information to guard and you feel like information is personal to you, um, I wouldn't be mad at that, right? But here's the problem. I feel a little offended because I've somewhat tried to do business with this person for years, and we had a relationship where we could trade growth information, information about potentially, avoiding this, or this is what's out there. Let's grow together. And you're telling me without telling me that my relationship to you is not valuable. And I guess I'm calling out the share positive information like I got this job, but they're not willing to say I got laid off from a job, because it's not anything that you did negatively. You didn't do anything if you get laid off. These are just the times, right? Move on. Maybe I could help you. And the person was way too close to me to be finding out that he got laid off. And I just said, look, I don't even want to talk about it. You've already told me what you needed to tell me. I guess, good, happy life, right? Like I'm okay. But I'm so wary about how we look at these things, because being laid off, life is not over when you're laid off. And doubling down on that, why are we so into what we do for a living as if there's no, like, my life is my life. My job is a piece of my life. Is it an important piece? Depending on who you are. Is it does it pay for everything? Well, it doesn't pay for the air that I breathe. I forgot who was putting me on to game, one of these philosophers, and they were talking about being careful with identifying as your profession. And the first comment on the stream, it like hit me. It was like the guy said, "Are you a gardener?" Like, well, he didn't say, "Are you a gardener?" He said, Are you a professional landscaper or?" He didn't say farmer, but I guess that's what he was. And right away, it's like if I said yes, I feel like I'm attaching myself to something that I'm doing today, which may not be what I'm doing tomorrow. And why isn't your job the same way? Like when I'm done being a software engineer as a profession, as in work, shouldn't say as a profession, but as in working for a company, am I no longer a software engineer if I create software by myself? In the end of the day, I'm Darnell. That just happened to be what my mom named me, not Daryl. She named me Darnell. That's just who I am. That's the start and the end of what it is. Um, Software engineering is something that I stumbled upon. It's I just stumbled. I think we all have stumbled, and we said this sounds and feels good. And granted, some people have these feelings that they were meant to do this, right? And it works out for them. I'm not saying or would ever say the way that they look at that is wrong. What I would say is when they take that away from you, and how could they take it away? It could just not be here anymore. The profession could not be used like what's going on with AI. It could just not, we could not need that as a profession. It could just not be there. That's it. So were you really meant to be any profession? No. Are there not guys that are the size of are? They're not playing basketball. So it's somewhat of a fantasy, right? And I need to do more reading about. You're gonna hear me starting to say this reading thing because last night I realized that I've been living, which is great, but I've been searching for words that I can't find through, like I'm receiving feelings and interactions, but I need more powerful words. I need more powerful understandings to um articulate what I'm trying to say because none of this is new, right? As a human in the modern society, someone we've all been through this. I read things from a long time ago and it feels like the person is sitting in my seat, like literally in my seat. So I'm gonna start going on this I don't call it a reading journey, but I think it'll help me even with the channel to bring some life into the channel from a lot of these things that I've just dabbled in. Like watching YouTube videos on people, philosophers and great speakers and great thinkers. You're just That'll be like catching one of my lives and saying that this is who Darnell is. I know everything about Darnell because you caught one of my lives and then you didn't understand the Daryl joke, right? So I think it'll be a common thing for me. Um, and I'm seeking that to learn. And that's another thing about like jobs, careers. Why does the learning stop? Like I think that's what for me. I'm just speak for me. I'm at a crossroads, and if I could sue LinkedIn for continuing to send me notifications, I don't care who's looked at my LinkedIn profile. I just don't. I have friends that reach out to me, just got reached out to today, and really, really special friend of mine. And she goes, "Hey, I know you're more qualified for this job than I am. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care." Um, when that new connection with me and career or profession is made, it's made. It's not one that I guess I'm just not seeking it. Like I guess I'm just not seeking it. There's no um there's no attraction. That's the right term. There's no and I'm gonna bend this word a little bit because when we think of attraction, we first think of, you know, humans being attracted to each other. But let's go deep. Let's go deeper. Hold on, I should read. I can't. Oh, let me. I think I could open Mickey Pic's comment on it. So I'm just not attracted to. Um, I don't know where life is going right now. It's really, it's debatable. And but my promise to myself is to be like ready and prepared for having the courage. That's about it. Just having the courage um of the day. And what comes in front of me today is what comes in front of me today. Like today, it's raining. And I could sit here and I could pout. Is pout even a word that we use in I haven't heard that in a long time. I could sit here and I could pout. Um, but I'm not. I'm just living in the moment. Um, I'm not doing anything extraordinary. That's totally fine. It's totally fine for me. Uh, but I just feel it's hard to take the stance that I do because everyone, most people, and I damn near mean everyone, is on board with the opposite, right? Like needing this career to define who you are. So it's really hard because we train our children that way. So I sit back and I see it. Um, and it's pretty. This one is cut and dry for me, hot and cold. You either understand what I'm saying or you don't. Um, I don't think I've ever been taught to like really truly dream. I've been taught to be set fast on the what I think is going to help me survive in the world, right? But the world changes and it changes fast. And I think the real survival skill is to just be aware of the changes and see how you could adapt, right? It's a little deeper than I wanted it to go, and I'm probably not making sense to many. That's okay. Like I said, I need to do some reading about how I feel, and when I work through these projects out here, that's a lot. That's helping me to unlock something, to see something in a new way, a different way, a refreshing way. So I would think that I would always, as best I can, keep busy because my profession. Here we go. My profession is to keep busy. That's my profession. Um, yeah, that's my profession is to keep busy and to use the talents that I was given, or really the way that I think has always been there. There's always been something a little edgy about it. Uh, and work my way into a manageable situation, because that is, I've thought so big, and I've shared those thoughts, but that I think I thought too big, and now I'm in a situation where I'm more of a minimalist in a sense, and I've got to go from, I have the assets of big and I have to transfer them into the way I think, because you should build what you could maintain. Um, when we grow, we think of owning this big old house, not questioning who's gonna have to clean that house. My kids are doing it now. My house is pretty nice size, and they say we want a bigger house. I'm gonna have this huge house. Okay, for what? So we have homeless people, and then we have people who live in homes with 20 bedrooms for it. So that's part of the journey for me, is when I've learned what I needed to learn, um, I'm gonna get on this journey like Forrest Gump. And the part where Forrest Gump started running, and I don't know if I'm gonna end up running, but what I'm saying is he just followed um what he thought. My kids were actually watch. I made them watch this the other day. They didn't understand a reference to Forrest Gump, so it was such a peaceful feeling to watch. Forrest told the lady on the bench, "I started running." He's just running, right? Now, the whole time while he was running, he had no rhyme or reason. He just felt it. Was he a track star? Was he a cross country star? He was just running. And everyone else, according to the movie, aligned themselves to this story of him. So media, people are getting moved by it. He never he never had a reason or purpose. These words are not for Forrest Gump. They didn't. Um, there was no money involved. He was helping people along the way. People made businesses, t-shirt business, bumper sticker business out of this imaginary thing that they got from him, because he couldn't transfer anything really to them because he wasn't doing it. There was no intent behind it. And the to close the whole thing out, he he just didn't feel like running anymore. And he just stops. And when he stops, because he was never in a fantasy, he never had to wake up. But everyone around him had to realize that why was he running? That they assigned themselves to a fantasy. Imagine that. And then multiply that, right? So that's how I feel a little bit about like the things that I do professionally, how I feel like people are more so assigning processes on others, and within that time frame they may embody that, but it doesn't mean that you wake up one day and you're just different, you know. I met a I saw a guy yesterday who he had a really bad, I didn't know, I wasn't aware of it, but I remember meeting a guy in the past, but he had a really bad accident. I don't want to say too much, but he someone died while he was working a job, and he was um it was accidental, but he was a part of it. And apparently it happened a year ago. And one of the friends of the guys who I'm connected to was telling me, maybe he should go back to work. People go back for a day when they're on workers' comp, they go back for a day, then they go back out on leave. And what he's going through is something that's like mental. And I asked him, I said, is it possible that he just doesn't want to go back to the job, that he can't conclude that, like, I genuinely believe a part of him died that day. And everything he's feeling is because he won't understand that because of that incident, he won't let the death of his primary self go, because we put so much into these experiences, these jobs. Our whole childhood is supposed to climax in a sense at you made it. You made it. And your parent, they tell all their friends and relatives, they made it. They did made it where? We're still just vessels. We still have feelings. We still have things that happen to us every day. We still have problems that we have to work through. So I really felt for the guy, because I'm not personal enough to him to have the conversation. So I'd have to reach out through the friend. But no one seemed to understand, and I didn't make a fuss of it, but no one seemed to understand the downside into trapping yourself into this thing, this profession. And here he is having to self medicate on the weekends to kind of get by for a year. I, I'd say just, face it. You got to get back in touch with yourself. It was accidental. I don't want to say life goes on, because that's, to me, that part of him died, and you have to understand and respect that these cycles happen. Work in the land, because it all comes back. There's one thing, if you guys been hanging out with me, there's one thing about me which makes all of that advice about growing my YouTube channel and making content that's fit in one mold. There's one thing about me that makes that not realistic in a fantasy, is that I could see the connections to all these things. I can connect the story I was just telling you, what my garden and working, putting my hands in the dirt. I have never been more in tune to that cycle, life and death. And when I say life and death, I don't just mean it for humans. I just mean it for living things. I mean it for microbiology in the soil. Um, we're running from that understanding, but I see it so much every time I hack off a weed. I'm looking at one right now that I'm I'm about to hack off. I killed it, and I understand and I take responsibility that I killed it, and I know my placement on w- w- what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm placed in that be a pseudo designer, because the ultimate designer is the designer. I'm trying to um, have respect for the cycle, not be in control of it. So I have intention with it, but because I'm exposed to this, is why I could see those cycles and why I think that he needs to allow for that self of him, that chapter of him, and release it and move on. And I don't know if I would ever say that to him, because you don't want to, when people are weak and vulnerable, you say things to them and they take those things and they empower themselves with your words, with your feelings. And that's very dangerous, because they have to feel it and they have to take responsibility for the decisions that they make. We all do. Um, but yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. I don't know if I'm going live later. I'm still trying to do a live to fulfill my commitment. I'm under a must go live every day contract. Um, it really just feels weird not doing it. I think once I get to the 500 subs, I might have a different, view on it. But I feel like I failed to I'm getting a phone call. I feel like I failed to achieve something, and I'm still cashing in on trying to achieve it. So, that's just, um nope, the rain hasn't let up. I might have to just forego and just do what I got to do anyway. Um, it was nice chatting with you guys. Thanks for tolerating me. No, I don't want you to look at your professions differently. What I want you to do is realize that you're much more than your profession, and we should operate in a world like that. And these tools, I'm sure many of you, if you're on like a LinkedIn, even when you're at a job, you're still getting these messages about these people are checking your profile out. This is how many jobs we have. So it's just like forever distraction. When will we just be content? Um, so that's really the message there. And do what works for you. But I just don't see how you get over time how we actually get much. You get money out of it, and then you still have to ask permission to be free. So I'm working through that. I have to follow up on some ideas that, if from a business perspective, if I'm gonna move forward, fear and a lack of consistency at times it burns me with that. But I think if I keep saying it out loud and get on the proper regimen, I could potentially overcome, like, grind it out. But I'm doing good work. I'm learning a lot about these crops, and maybe there's something there. Who knows? I never thought I would be. Who knows? So, thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you catch this on the replay, you're a real one. Peace.